Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know, 9 p.m. sharp, right? Right on time. As always. Oh no. Rip. Wait. That's weird. No. Rip. Flew too close to the sun on this one, eh? This is the tweet I got banned for. What's up, Quorum? How you doing, buddy? Don't worry, it's gonna be a chill stream too. We on Sad Boy stream tonight, boys and girls. Got this shit banned. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. No more Twitter account, but that's okay. That's okay. We do have a we getting I did submit an appeal. I submit like one appeal, kind of got rejected, and then I submitted another appeal. But the second appeal I sent, I thought was my first appeal, so I'm not happy about it because I might not put the best language or like phrase it better for like the other, because by the time I actually had gotten the fucking rejection letter from the first appeal that I actually thought didn't go through. So I wrote it again, but we'll see. Yeah, free exactly. And like, listen, like, the reason I added this is because in theory, I got banned for this tweet. Oh, for this tweet right here. At what point would it be justified to, in brackets, removed due to TOS violations, Asmongold? I feel is the only thing that'll help him. And I knew, obviously, this was like kind of pushing the edge a little bit, you know, whatever you want to say, because obviously. But I did this, and the reason I thought it would be okay, because if we look at Twitter TOS, there's the violent speech part that I got banned for. So, but I did this, and the reason I did it is I was being a smartass in a way when I tweeted it, but essentially, like, in theory, you can have something that's a TOS violation in here that isn't violent, quote unquote. Like, for example, at what point would it be justified to force somebody to be a sex slave for Asmongold? I feel it's the only thing that'll help him. Like, you could do something that's not violent, and the joke would still work. It's like it's a Mad Lib. Like, if anybody sees this as violent thought, the only reason they see that is because they're thinking it. Like, that was, you know, that was the point of the fucking tweet. But there's no violent speech in this tweet. There's nothing violent about it. And I guess because, like, it's Asmongold, and he's like, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk fucking follows Asmongold. Well, wait, no, I don't know if they follow each other, because I remember they were following each other, and then Asmon said some shit about Elon, and then they unfollowed, like, because they're both fucking children. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I feel like I should win my appeal simply because, like, there is no violent speech in this tweet at all. And if you look at, like, what the TOS is, how do we define violent content? Violent content is any content containing violent speech or violent media as defined below. So this would be violent speech, content that threatens, incites, glorifies, or expresses desire for violence or harm. Okay, like, it's pretty straightforward. They go on to say, not allowed. We prohibit violent speech that we consider high in severity and a likelihood of harm. Such content must be removed, and subsequent violations may result in the account being placed in a read-only mode or suspended. I got suspended. Examples include explicit statements that are violent threats. God, I'm wheezing. threats to inflict physical harm on others, which include threatening to kill, torture, sexually assault, or otherwise hurt somebody. This also includes threatening to damage civilian homes and shelters or infrastructure that is essential to daily civil, religious, or business activity. So I guess like if you threaten to like blow up a dam, that's could be considered violent threat, and you can get banned from Twitter for that. Wishing of harm, wishing, hoping, or expressing a desire for harm. Now, I guess this is maybe what they could have gotten me on. It's just weird because I didn't do that. Again, you could like kind of get that from what I was saying, but you filled in the blank. I didn't say anything bad. That's the whole point. You filled in the blank. Incitement to violence, you know, whatever, inciting, promoting, encouraging others to commit acts of violence or harm, blah, blah, or glorification, glorifying, praising, or celebrating acts of violence where harm occurred, or where harm occurred, including expressing gratitude or praising that somebody experienced physical harm, blah, blah, blah. None of my shit did that. Like, if anything, this is what I'm guilty of down here. Usage of coded language, often referred to as dog whistles, to indirectly incite violence. Like, if I'm being generous, because like what I have wasn't a dog whistle, it was just like a joke, a dumb joke tweet. It's just, yeah. So, like, logically, the way I'm thinking, I'm like, I should be unbanned because I didn't break the rules. But also, part of me is like, well, you know, did go after like the friend of the owner of the fucking website. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, we'll see. It's a bummer too, just because like, I was close to, I just got over 3,800. It was close to 4,000. I started at like 200 like 2 years ago. It felt good. Like I grew it like all organically, no fucking cheating. But what are you gonna do? Oh, music a little about fuck me. I gave all that good speech. You guys probably didn't hear shit. Anyway. See, I'm so bad at streaming. I deserve to be banned from fucking streaming, not from fucking Twitter. So we'll see. Luckily, like through like doing research on it, apparently there's like different levels of banned / suspended. And luckily I'm not at the bottom. Pretty close to the bottom of like how hard I was banned and like how annoying it will be to actually recover it, but not technically at the bottom because I can request unbans, and I think I can do it as many times as like I want until they stop me from doing it. So if this one doesn't go through, I have the good text for like the more detailed and professional request review. So we'll see. I'll probably do that. Like if it comes back tomorrow as being banned, like not working, I'll probably wait a couple days, send the new one, then yeah, we'll see. Fucking annoying though. And now because like I'm not going to cheat, I'm not going to make another Twitter account because I know you're not allowed to do that. And I really want to, but I don't want to risk losing this account because whatever. Who gives a shit, right? Let's see what's going on in Ukraine. So there's just been a lot of shit going on too. In the streamer world, a series of powerful explosions reported in Belgorod. Ooh. A Russian vehicle assault. Jesus. Bro, that's just... Imagine actually going out into combat like that in a world where fucking drones exist. Jesus Christ. Who cares about Twitter when we have liberalism book club? True, I know. The only reason it's annoying, like, because I was thinking about that too. Like, Twitter is a fucking cesspool garbage website, if we're being honest with each other. Like, nothing good comes out of it. It's better if we stop using it. With that being said, it was probably like my largest platform on the internet. Probably like the one place where I actually quote unquote had somewhat of a voice, where people kind of knew who I was. And I don't know of a place that would replace it quite like Twitter. Like Blue Sky is a thing, but no one fucking uses Blue Sky. And I like don't want to use TikTok, but TikTok isn't a social media platform. No one uses fucking Facebook. I mean, I guess you can kind of use Instagram. That could be the next one I try, but they don't have to do videos for everyone. Like, and that sounds fucking awful. I would have to stream a lot more. I'd have to get better at like filming short form content. I don't even know how to do that. It would just be a lot easier if my account was unbanned. It would just be a lot less work. No one has suffered more than me. I just want you guys to know that. Yeah, got suspended. Rip, rip, rip. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I know, and then like I don't even have. I've never made a TikTok account, which I always view as a point of pride. And I know, because like I get sucked into the fucking like the scrolling on Instagram, and I know that I would get super addicted to TikTok. One of the reasons I've like intentionally stayed away from it, but we'll say desperate times call for desperate measures. Shit like that. For appeal, I don't have you mean for YouTube? No. Every time I've had to submit an appeal, they've honestly been pretty dang quick at it. I mean, every time it's been a successful appeal and they've just enabled my account. But like the first rejection I got for this one was within like 12 hours. So hopefully tomorrow morning. I'm also afraid to check my email because I'm still not unbanned, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to see anything in my email, because if I do, that means they're telling me you can fuck yourself. Yes, Hassan Isabel, unblock me, lad. If you're curious how so many absolutely insane Hassan the Hun clips are now hitting the timeline, it's because not a single left-leaning person who's had him on their show, Pod Save America, Mehdi Hassan, etc., has ever seriously taken him to task for the unconscionable stuff he says on a near daily basis. All of them have been consistently provoking or providing cover for him under the guise of, oh, he's just edgy, or those are just ironic jokes, man. Republicans obviously aren't going to buy the same weak excuses. And it's true. The one cool thing is it does seem like there's been a decent amount of pushback against Hassan. Ever since he kind of put on his mouse suit like a fucking idiot. Like if anything, like just he's not smart, he's not savvy, he's if anything, like he's a provocateur, and that's what you don't want, like leading in a serious way your political movement. Like he should stay a member of the DSA and like be, you know, a fucking mascot for them because he fits them. He's just as unserious as they are, but like stay out of the Democratic Party, stay out of Democratic politics. Mogler drops a not so subtle hint that he's still a GG Chad.
I'd be so cooked if this were my lawyer. It would be over. I want to show you a clip of Andrew Tate actually getting completely rolled in a debate. He didn't do many debates because he's not that sharp, but he did do this Twitter space with Alex Jones, Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, Myron Gaines, like the worst crew of people you could ever see. Then Andrew Tate gets absolutely rolled. He tries to pull this BS talking point that all of the media is getting marching orders to come down on people like him and his brother, to come down on the Trumps. They spread these conspiracy theories about the media trying to cover up rigged elections and vaccines, and they just get stomped on. Take a look at this.
Didn't Tucker get fired for having an opinion that went outside of the narrative?
But no, Tucker got fired because he almost cost Fox News $1 billion for lying on air. It's funny that you defend the fact that he had an original opinion. What you're actually defending is misinformation and lies, which is supposed to be something you guys are against, I thought.
Which opinion was this? That's not what I heard. Tell me, please.
The Fox News, the Dominion lawsuit. There were texts that were leaked from him where he admitted that he was lying on air about.
That is such like a fucking open and shut case. There's a reason fucking conservatives never bring that up. never want to talk about it and pivot away, like as far away as possible whenever it comes up.
Claims that Sidney Powell made to him, and he was tired of lying to his audience about things about the Dominion voting machines being rigged.
Well, I don't know if that's
You don't know anything because you don't read
firstly, and then
media.
I
That's
heard
why
a
you're out
very-
here saying things like they get marching orders from everybody. You don't know how any of these media companies are structured. You don't know where the teams get their information from. People that work in media are the most like social media hungry people in the universe. You think that all these people in all these networks across all these countries are getting fed the same marching orders and nobody's leaked anything, nobody's complained about anything, nobody's said anything? And why do we think that mainstream media is any more insulated from these problems than alternative media is? You guys will make fun of the marching orders from mainstream media, but I bet every single alternative media guy in here is anti-vax, thinks COVID came from a bioweapons lab, thinks that Russia has a right to invade Ukraine, thinks that all the charges against Donald Trump are made up, thinks that we shouldn't be supporting Israel. Like, you guys have literally copy-pasted the same opinions between every single one of you, and you guys are talking like an army of NPCs about how the mainstream media gives you like fabricated opinions. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
I mean, they have no response to that at that point. And at this point,
Kai, if it makes you feel better about your X Games spend it, I pissed off the far left and Republicans on it the past week. Well, thank you, Kai, for standing up. Yeah, it's retarded. It's really stupid because yeah, it happened because I know what happened is that it was just like mass reported all at once, and it just got like auto suspended because it got mass reported for violent speech, and that'll happen. It'll just auto suspend your account. And it's only happened to me twice. So Asmongold fans will do that to you, and J-Stalk fans, Jew Stalker fans will do that to you. So careful if you're rolling around in the mud with those guys, because their fans will mass report you when you make fun of their favorite streamer, man. Aiden Underground admits that Destiny was correct in their original debate about the Snarker Left server. Oh boy. Here's the original debate. Wait. Where's Aiden has officially turned against the Snark Left and has denounced the server as containing verified doxers, with people recklessly sharing dox tools to dig up people's info without consent. Aiden Underground. Nicandros will help provide resources for you to dig up people's info non-consensually. Black Hat, please tell Destiny immediately I was wrong about Nicandros. I officially concede the debate. He should have been more paranoid. When you sent me a tool... Right, when you sent the tool that could enable doxing to a server with verified doxers in it, how did you know they wouldn't use a tool from Alice? Aiden just admitted on main that Nicandros was actively operating. Oh, it was Nicandros who was doing it. Yeah, he was in the... Yep. And handing out doxing tool to known doxers while arguing with Nicandros. Aiden asked, when you sent a tool that could enable doxing to a server with verified doxers in it, how did you know they wouldn't use a tool from Alice? He then doubled down. I'd say it's about as possible as the tool Nicandros provided to the Snark Left server being utilized for actual instances of doxing. Yeah. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. The kids are fighting. The children are fighting. Yeah. Yeah, she's running. I mean, good for her. If she wants to run, she can run. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know how successful she'll be. Apparently, she's been like, ever since the election, she's been doing a lot of work down south, trying to like, you know, get into communities down there, and people apparently love her. Like black people in the South fucking love her. JVL and Tim Miller discussed DSA Oppo research New York Times story.
I was just a little frustrated by a story in the New York Times today about the third way.
Do tell. Love the third way. Aren't they great? Do we? Wait, I have no idea. Do we like them?
I've got friends in the third way.
Okay, great.
Okay, the third way was originally the Bill Clinton kind of centrist Democratic
neoliberalism. Sign me.
Yo, so if she's been doing that, then fuck yeah, she's awesome then. Hell yeah. If she's been registering people, dude, one of the weird things I think that's going on in Pennsylvania, I think the Republicans, since prior to this last election in 2024, they've been doing a lot of work registering the Amish and the Mennonites in central PA in like Lancaster to vote. And I think it's actually like a big problem that no one really knows anything about. That Scott Presler, fucking weird dude, that conservative fucking operative, I think he does a lot of work in PA. He's like from where I live. Like, oh, fuck me.
Yep, baby.
Exactly. Ideologically, I think if I went down a checklist with the head of the third way, I think we'd probably disagree a bit on some foreign policy stuff these days. But I think most of the way we'd be pretty aligned. But like strategically, I'm so annoyed by what's happening. And I wanted to save this for the very end of the secret podcast because I did a Monday conversation about how at the end of the pod, a monologue, just about how like
yeah, Bad Horse. I agree, especially because like, no offense, they're 0 for 2, and I feel like they get enough blame for losing the Trump twice. We need like Ossoff would be risky because he's Jewish, and fucking Buttigieg would be risky alone because he's gay, and they're both white men, and they're probably like our two best candidates. And I still would be like, maybe we don't like. We need a straight white man. Like Gavin, unfortunately, the fucking chat. Like if we need someone like Gavin Newsom, straight white Giga Chad man. Like unfortunately for this election, it's too important, and we just need the fucking white man to save us again. One more time, guys. Warnock would actually be a pretty good. I wouldn't mind Warnock at all. I was canvassing for him down in Georgia with DGG.
I'm getting very frustrated with the factionalists on both sides and the DSA and the moderates, and everybody's got to run campaigns. I get it. This doesn't mean I had some negative feedback about like, well, Tim, you still make fun of Democrats sometimes, and I'm like, I'm not asking people to everyone become a propagandist and like and stand in lockstep and say thank you, Chairman Mao. I love Zoran, and I also love Alyssa Slotkin, and I love every person. I'm not saying that. Like, people should be honest. My job is as I'm a talk show host. Like, I should be honest about what I think. That's why people come. But the thing that I was objecting to is that there are people within the DSA camp and within the moderate faction that it feels like they think the most important and proximate foe is each other. And that is what I'm objecting to. You know, it's like if you're putting
Josh Pierce goes look at that same fucking problem, man. I don't know. It's Josh Shapiro is not going to fucking abandon Israel. That's for sure. It's risky. And I love Shapiro. He's my dude. He's my guy. But still,
all of your energy into fighting the other side of our current faction.
Like if he doesn't run, like he's going to make a run at some point for president. 100%. He's been on that for the last like 15, 20 years.
That I think that you are really off the ball. If you're putting like 80% of your energy into foe is each other. And that is what I'm objecting to. That there are people within the DSA camp and within the moderate faction that it feels like they think the most important and proximate foe is each other. And that is what I'm objecting to. You know, it's like if you're putting all of your energy into fighting the other side of our current faction, then I think that you are really off the ball. If you're putting like 80% of your energy into fighting Trump and then 20% of your energy, like go with God. You know, whatever. I'm not trying to, you know, tell everybody
this
what they
is
can
literally
say.
the flip side of,
I think it's a fair split.
Of MAGA, right? Where the people they really hate aren't the Democrats, but it's always been like the never Trumpers.
Right, the neocons, yeah. And so we're seeing this now. So anyway, the New York Times story about the third way said they were like, we are announcing a $15 million campaign to do Oppo research on the DSA. I was like, why? Why? What? I was like, you know what? Honestly, you could, if you want to come to me with a plan, if you're concerned about the DSA's faction growth, I could be interested in a plan. You could say,
all we got is our
hey, we're going to put 15 million into like really promoting like a handful of like Adam Hamilton, who I had on the pod on Thursday, pastor, centrist.
Should we watch Slop? Actually, hold on. Before I lose it forever, I should get a little screenshot of this. Just in case. White pros guy who's policy. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, listen, as goofy as they are, and as white and childish and young as we call them, because they are making strides. They're winning primaries. They're starting to win. And this is what you'd have to do it. I'd rather do it now than when they actually have a solid foothold. Did you see the interview of the DSA chair and how she was completely clueless? Which one? The Fox News one? Is this the most fun rifle ever made?
22 long rifle.
All right, it's going to be a 10-22. Right? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, most fun rifle ever made, it has to be a 10-22.
I grew up shooting 22 shorts, longs, and long rifles. Most of the bolt guns and things we fired, we could fire any of the three. And generally speaking, most people just pick up the...
No, not the Fox one. The New Yorker. I did not. There's a couple... All right, let's watch that. New Yorker DSA interview. Here we go. There's a couple interviews at the Main Street. Yeah, I know they've been going out, and again, but one of the things, and I know they've gone on Fox a couple times, but it just, all Republicans are going to do is say this is every fucking Democrat. Like, you can say DSA, DSA, DSA all you want, but that doesn't fucking matter. They're going to say these are Democrats, and they already fucking think Democrats are crazy. So now they have crazy people to point to, and it's going to reaffirm their beliefs even more. All right, good luck.
Megan, let's start with first principles. What?
He has the most New Yorker voice I've ever heard. Holy shit. All right. Let's move this over here so you can read it a little bit. No, I want to undo that. I want to undo whatever I just did there. Move this back here. Camera. Damn, those are crazy eyes too, bruh.
To your mind, is democratic socialism?
Yeah, so
Megan, let's start with first principles. What, to your mind, is democratic socialism?
Yeah, so just very simply, it is people having a democratic say-so in all of the things that they need to survive. So democratic control of their workplace, democratic control of their housing, and democracy in what we already know as democracy in the political process.
Okay. So that proposed.
First of all, nice and vague. Great. Number two, this guy has excellent taste. He's got a beautiful Martin over here. Looks like maybe like a D28. He's definitely had it for a little bit. Pickguard looks a little aged. Good taste. Off to a good start.
There's about 1 million questions. What does democracy in the workplace mean? Does everybody get to vote on what we're going to do today, tomorrow, and the next day?
The way we look at it is mostly probably pretty similar to how a unionized workplace would work today. You get to collectively decide with your coworkers what demands you want to make of your boss, what your schedule looks like, what your working environment looks like, and negotiate collectively with whoever the boss is.
Okay, but that sounds like simple unionization, which we already have, even though unions are not in the best spot they've ever been in this country.
Yeah, right there.
That's true. So we'd like to see everybody have a union. Right now, it's quite low. It's in the teens, I think, percentage of unionized workplaces. We think everybody should have a union of some sort.
And what does it mean for the larger economics of a country? For example, Google or Apple or, the biggest.
Curious how she'll actually answer this. I think she'll say like, oh, it's not going to have to happen right away. So there'll be plenty of time for us to come up with a plan and a solution for this. So it doesn't end up at I'm curious.
corporations in the country? Are they no longer privately owned under democratic socialism?
Well, that's a good question, and we specifically say that the industries that that you need, right? So your necessary
Like your public utilities, kind of?
industries. So power. I would say that the internet is a necessity at this point. You can't really function without it. Water, things like this. A lot of these things are public in some places.
Some are public in some places, yeah, but not most of them. I think a majority of them are private. Or at least like partly private, like it's like a split, but
We want them public everywhere.
Do you believe in owning the means of production, as the Marxists used to say?
I do, yeah.
But you speak for whom?
Well, I speak for the
see, like that's a bad sign when they say like, "Oh, I do." They know that's like a pretty radical position. Like she knows that's a pretty spicy one to have to, spicy grenade to have to throw your body on top of, and she's willing to do it, but she tries to take it and put it on herself, thus protecting the DSA in general. But like he just said, like you're the leader, you're the spokesperson, like you represent them, so. Are you saying that is representative of the DSA in general? Like that's the party's thing?
Democratic Socialists of America.
Means of production, as the Marxists used to say.
I do, yeah.
But you speak for whom?
Well, I speak for the Democratic Socialists of America, and I think that you will find the demand long term for the working class to be in charge of the means of production is one that is pretty universally held. Again, we're not trying to flip a switch so that everything changes tomorrow. We're thinking about ways you can incrementally
we'll have to kill them after a while.
Make life better for starters, but also shift the balance of power from the billionaire class to the working class.
Okay, so what is the difference between democratic socialism and what
That's a good one, Corum. I hope they do, because that always changes depending on how rich the person asking is.
exists in a lot of Europe, which I would call social democracy, which is to say a greater emphasis and maybe a higher tax rate in order to have things like what we would call Medicare for all or single payer or either free.
Incrementally, make life better for starters, but also shift the balance of power from the billionaire class to the working class.
Okay, so what is the difference between democratic socialism and what exists in a lot of Europe, which I would call social democracy, which is to say a greater emphasis and maybe a higher tax rate in order to have things like what we would call Medicare for all or single payer or either free or radically less expensive higher education. And I think, and I'm going to take a wild guess here, if you were using that vocabulary instead of the socialism category, you might have more adherence.
Maybe, but the reality is that we do not think that we're not fighting for a kinder, gentler capitalism.
Which is dumb because like all the good things that these socialist commies call for and ask for, like especially the things that are realistic that could actually help like average working class people, can all be achieved under capitalism if we were able to have honest conversations like adults. But since we can't do that, we just all end up like fighting about trans people and like girl cock all day, every day for years. So we don't have those real conversations. So we just end up spinning our tires. So instead of like completely overthrowing and rebuilding the entire world order and like changing the structure of every single like organization and capital market in the world and completely get rid of the monetary system and essentially flip everything over on its head, why don't we just adjust slightly the system that we're in? I feel like we'd get to the end result a lot quicker and the goal a lot quicker. It would be less work, it would be less time, less effort, less could go wrong. We can adjust on the fly. Like capitalism is not perfect. It's just like a system that can be used in a good way or a bad way, and we can use it in a good way. Like, it's been done before. It's pretty malleable, like, to be used in the proper way, especially if in a democracy. So like those two things working together can coexist. We just have to have the will to do it. But good luck finding that. She is a rage baiter, Kai.
We think that a democracy that's really controlled by the working class is the ultimate goal. Social democracy.
When you say we, forgive me, Megan, but when you
Sure.
say we, how is that stance arrived upon? Who's we?
That's a great question, and one that I love to talk about. So DSA is fundamentally and sometimes excruciatingly democratic. The highest decision-making body of the Democratic Socialists of America is our convention. It happens every 2 years. Chapters elect delegates. We come together, vote on a bunch of proposals that may or may not shift our overall strategies or our overall stances on something.
And these are representatives from a base of how many people?
Well, right now, I think we're at 129,000 people. But we have grown significantly since Zoran Mamdani's election, which came after our last convention. And then we're seeing a growth spurt recently with the recent congressional primary wins as well.
It's very interesting to me that maybe the highest profile political race that we're now seeing nationally for the midterm elections on the left is the ascent in the state of Michigan of Abdul El-Sayed, who, when I asked him about democratic socialism, said, no, I'm a capitalist. You disappointed?
He's not a DSA candidate. If he was a DSA candidate, I would absolutely be disappointed. But I'm glad that there is a movement sort of across the board of people taking on some of these policies, because I do think they will improve life for the working class. But
what is the working class in this country? Because Zoran Mamdani, mayor of New York, just gave an interview, I believe, to the New York Times, and he was asked, please define the working class. And he said anybody making under $1 million a year, which I got to tell you was news to me.
Yeah, that is not how I would define the working class.
How would you define it?
So we're coming out of a socialist tradition where class is defined based on your relationship to capital. And so the working class is essentially people who make a paycheck.
So if I'm a dentist, I can't be working class.
Well, it depends. Are you a dentist who is working for a corporation and selling your labor and getting paid hourly, or are you a dentist who owns your dental practice? It does get fuzzy around that edges. There's a lot of socialist theory happening right now about gig work and how these sort of, like, technically a gig worker works for themselves, but they're obviously not really the ownership class. So there's definitely a hot topic of debate. But the simple definition is, do you make a paycheck, or do you make money off other people working for you, or renting a place that you own? Are you making the money from the payoff of your capital investments, or are you making it because you sell your labor?
So let's dig down a little bit here. The DSA refused to endorse Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump in 2016. You happy about that decision?
I think it would have hurt our credibility a bit as people who are actually standing for socialism and against neoliberalism.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you let an authoritarian through the door.
Yo, Kondo, what's up, dude? Oh, what's going on right here? Oh yeah, corn. Okay, I'm not gonna watch the corn video tonight because I had no idea that fucking quorum over here was whipping up. Oh, no, I'm fucking idiot. Conduit. It's been a long night. Conduit here has been whipping up a 1 hour and 50-minute Hasan video. This needs to raise money. You should actually put a GoFundMe up in order to get a fucking BetterHelp subscription for the therapy that you need for watching as much Hasan as you did, I would imagine, for this video. God damn, that's a lot of fucking Hasan. That sucks, dude. Oh no, I'm not going to switch. Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm not going to switch because it's fucking 2 hours long and I am making it 2 hours. I got another like 30 minutes in me because it's been a long day. So I'm watching it tomorrow. But I'm just saying, this is what we're watching tomorrow. So you guys can come here because I watched like the first 5 minutes just to see. It's Kino. And yes, I do. Yep. That's right. Now, this is, you know how much I hate you? I'm going to make you watch this shit.
Yes.
Well, it depends. Are you a dentist?
No, yeah, Corum. I just want to watch it, get the whole thing when I'm nice and awake. I might actually do a morning stream, watch it. But yeah, I'm excited. It looks like it's getting good reviews and good people are saying good shit about it, man. I'm excited to watch it.
But I'm glad that there is a movement sort of across the board of people taking on some of these policies, because I do think they will improve life for the working class. But
what is the working class in this country? Because Zoran Mamdani, mayor of New York, just gave an interview.
Oh yeah,
I believe to the New York Times, and
so I was asking you, hope he would figure this out. Oh yeah, Corum.
He was asked, please define the working class, and he said anybody making under $1 million a year, which I got to tell you was news to me.
Yeah.
So that means Hassan isn't in the working class. I'm getting hungry. My plate is empty.
That is not how I would define the working class.
How would you define it?
So we're coming out of a socialist tradition where class is defined based
fucking awful, horrible, genocidal traditions
on your relationship to capital. And so the working class is essentially people who make a paycheck.
So if I'm a dentist, I can't be working class.
Well, it depends. Are you a dentist who is working for a corporation and selling your labor and getting paid hourly, or are you a dentist?
See, that's a nice one, because that gets to include a lot of entertainers and a lot of like really rich people, like really wealthy people that still draw a paycheck and call it their like prime. So you can pull like, do they consider like stock options, and like do they consider that just like part of the paycheck? Audio is crap. You're trying. What do you use for some audio? I might have some stuff, like some extra stuff laying around, depending on what gear you're working with. Yeah, then what about someone who's like, what's up, my world? Like, what about somebody who's doing that? Like, working at a big company, they're still getting a paycheck, no? Figure it out. Sorry. Oh, right, sorry. 1 second. I'm gonna drop that in a minute.
Who owns your dental practice? It does get fuzzy around that edges. It gets, there's
That's
a lot of
reform.
socialist theory happening right now about gig work and how these sort of like technically a gig worker works for themselves, but they're obviously not really the ownership
I don't think anyone would consider a gig worker an owner.
class. So there's definitely a hot topic of debate. But the simple definition is: do you make a paycheck, or do you make money off other people working for you, or renting a place that you own? Are you making the money from the payoff of your capital investments? Or are you making it because you sell your labor?
So let's dig down a little bit here. The DSA refused to endorse Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump in 2016.
That's actually insane. Yo.
Hoba is now following on Twitch. Oh wow, thanks.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Is my chat thing not working again? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Well, I retried. I didn't even see your message earlier. Why is that? Yo, if someone's in Twitch chat, type. What the frick? I thought I had that set up. Huber. Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing? Thanks for helping me, giving me the follow. Appreciate it.
You happy about that decision?
I think it would have hurt our credibility a bit as people who are actually standing for socialism and against neoliberalism.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you let an authoritarian through the door. I mean, I'm not blaming you specifically.
Yeah.
A lot of factors went into it.
Yeah.
Did you stay home in 2016?
I didn't. No.
You voted?
No. I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I voted for Joe Biden in 2020.
So why did you do that against the recommendation of the organization?
Well, I wasn't a DSA member in 2016, first of all.
So she wouldn't have voted if she was a part of the DSA? Is that what she's trying to say? No, don't say that.
But I did believe in a harm reduction vote, but I don't think that the couple 100,000 socialists are the ones who swung that vote. It's the millions of people who stayed home because all they were being offered was kind of a rainbow flag painted version of the same thing.
Well, in fairness, millions of people stay home every election. I mean, it's a sort of shameful
and we think
part
that's a huge problem. A big part of our strategy is trying to engage people who do not vote regularly, who do feel disenfranchised by the system in general.
Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, no endorsement. You agreed with that?
Yeah, I voted on that statement. I was a member of the National Political Committee.
Tell me about your rationale.
Most DSA members, I think, certainly in swing states, voted for Kamala Harris, I believe. But we felt that our credibility really stood on saying, we are socialists. We are offering you a real alternative. I didn't think that our endorsement would really make a difference one way or the other. And I don't.
It's always like we're so small. I don't know why people what people expect out of us. I don't know why people have any expectations that we play fair or work as a team with the people that we say are on our side. But also, you better fucking bend the knee to us, and you should be listening to us. You should be changing your entire party's platform based on what we have said. Like, fucking pick a lane.
I think it would have. I think again, people don't vote because they feel totally locked out, not because DSA told them to or to not vote for a presidential candidate. When we endorse somebody, that doesn't just mean we're putting a rubber stamp on it anyway. It means that we are turning out our people to hit the doors and hit the phones and really do a major voter outreach operation. And we weren't going to do that for Kamala Harris. And I don't know that it would have made a difference if we had. Well, I don't know that she wanted it.
This article in Jacobin, which is, I think a DSA-aligned journal, it's called A Blueprint for a New Party. And it said the goal is not to immediately form a third party, which is seen as suicidal in America's two-party tyranny, but to, quote, mount the electoral equivalent of guerrilla insurgency, unquote, by using the Democratic Party line.
We do love to talk like that, don't we?
Is that a good idea, Megan?
I think people like us being rather bold. I think the boldness
it's sort of the badass imagery.
Someone's got to be. People are furious about Trump and the Democratic Party. I mean, James Carville's writing op-eds that say "roll over and play dead." Like, what is that? People want a fighter, and I think they appreciate that we just come right out and say it.
So, before we came on, we alluded to the fact that you were just on Fox News and you read a series of positions, statements. You very cheerfully responded yes, without any embarrassment, to this series of issues. I think open borders was one. Why are you for open borders? I think to a lot of ears it sounds like a John Lennon song, not a political reality.
Well, John Lennon was very popular.
Yeah.
I think, again, all of these policy points, they're all part of this long-term goal where we are putting huge amounts of resources into alleviating poverty, into stopping destabilization of countries internationally that are causing huge migrant flow. But most people in the U.S. are here because of a prior period of unrestricted immigration or of much looser immigration. We put caps on certain countries and don't allow migration from other countries, and then kind of wide open for some countries.
I understand that, but people would argue back and say, okay, that there may be deep flaws in both the history and the system of immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Why not correct those flaws and make them more just, but by just throwing the gates open, whether it's the gates of prisons or the gates of immigration, that chaos will ensue? I think you probably get that argument a lot.
Sure. And we're not saying throw the gates open. We're saying let's do that. Let's look at where the system is really flawed, really problematic.
I think that's called immigration reform.
Yeah, true.
It is, but we think that you have to look at all of these things from first principles, right? We started here from first principles. So what do we want out of an immigration system? Let's start there. That doesn't mean thinking from just throwing open the borders and then building from the ground up. It means reforming the system we have while we rethink the system, while we build this new one from the ground up, and then hopefully eventually flipping the switch.
Do you believe there should be millionaires in this country?
Millionaire. Interesting.
I'm less concerned about millionaires, more concerned about billionaires.
And the new phrase centimillionaires that these people had to start using ever since they started making some money. Interesting.
I don't have like a hard line where it's where
How
you're
much?
good
I guess
or
what
you're
I'm
bad.
asking is how much is too much?
Yeah,
I hate the first principles argument where hundreds of years into our democracy. Exactly. Like, the shit's been working for a while. Like, come on. Like, I hate how they just want to throw away the system just because it's not fucking perfect instead of adjusting the system that is able to take adjustments.
I think the question is less about how much is too much and more about what are you doing to keep and maintain and get that wealth in the first place. I think most billionaires got their wealth because they exploited the working class in some very significant way, usually. Are we exploiting people is the bigger question, as opposed to some sort of arbitrary red line of you can have this much money or not have that much money. But we do believe in taxing the hell out of millionaires. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what does taxing the hell out of them mean?
Yeah, I don't have like a solid, but I think.
But shouldn't you?
Right? You're the leader of a political organization.
if you're the
That's a good
co-chair,
question.
if you're the co-chair of the DSA, shouldn't you be more specific than?
Maybe you should have thought, like, had this shit thought out by this point.
Just taxing the hell out of something. What exactly do you mean?
Fucking no thought. It's all just a LARP. It's
So
all a
again,
game.
it's democracy, right? And we have to look at what we need to spend
It's democracy. It's other people's fucking problem to figure that out.
and what we
People will
need.
vote for
We
it,
don't
but-
want to depend on the existence of millionaires because that means people are still getting exploited. So, so yeah, we need to look at what we need to pay for in.
All right, I need to get some water real quick. 1 second. Right back. I don't want to play it because I don't want to miss out. Here's some music.
the interim, what sort of tax base we need for that to happen, and then and build from there.
Is support of Israel
Corum, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
in any form
How much does that cost
essentially
again?
a red card in DSA? As I understand it, in 2024, DSA's National Political Committee withdrew its endorsement of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez over her support for a House resolution stating that denying Israel's right to exist is a form of anti-Semitism, and her local chapter stuck with her. And this was an argument that continued on. Where are you on it?
Yeah, so that was like a very complicated and very like inter-DSA bureaucratic question, but convention decided that, yeah, this is a solid red line. No defense or economic support for Israel.
Does Israel have the right to defend itself, according to DSA? What is the position that DSA is headed toward here? Is it for a two-state solution? Is that what's
No, two-state solution. Are you out of your fucking mind? One or none, baby.
binational, one-state solution? What in fact is the position of DSA?
Yeah, so our position is a free Palestine with the capital in Jerusalem. And so I
So unrealistic fucking Barbie doll play shit.
think that could be safely read as a one-state solution.
So the Camp David Accords that were being negotiated.
Just unserious. Like, these people hate Palestinian children. Like, these people want Palestinian children to die because it gives them more oxygen to talk about this shit.
Negotiated at the beginning of the century under the Clinton administration, had the Palestinians accepted it, that would have satisfied you.
Good question. I need to look at what the actual specifics there were. I don't know them off the top of my head. But so when you say, does Israel have the right to defend itself? Peoples have the right to live in safety. Absolutely. But if that safety means doing genocide to somebody else, then no, that's not defensible.
Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier recently won a primary election in New York City and is almost sure to win the general election. She attended an October 8th pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas rally, which many people saw as a justification of the October 7th attack. And some of her tweets have been extremely ugly on this score and on others. Do you fully support her in all these activities and what she's had to say?
I think Daria Lisa can speak for herself, certainly, and I think she's apologized for some pieces of that and has been
not for
quite
attending that rally.
Unapologetic about other pieces of that. And
do you support her yourself in that?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Yeah. Because
in other words, you would have gone to that rally had you been able.
That's a good question. I probably would have. Yeah. I don't live in New York City, so I wouldn't have.
One day after the slaughter of 1,200 people.
Like, it's just the people who are that excited that quickly after October 7th are anti-Semitic. Whether they know it or not, or whether they'll admit it to themselves or not, they are. Because, like, I'm pretty sure by then there are still fucking people, like, getting killed in some of, like, the kibbutzes around Gaza. Like, they weren't all, like, everything wasn't cleared by then, and they were fucking celebrating about like, there was the one guy with, like, the glorious paraglide. What was the it was like the fucking New York City, like, where is this? Can't find it. October 7th. God damn it. I'm not gonna find this. I don't know why I can't find this fucking thing. You know what I'm talking about, right? Maybe it's this one.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Like October 8th. I think, wait, was this or was this? Yeah. Fucking October 8th. Yeah, it was 2023 because it was Russia Ukraine was 2022 and that was like a year before. Like this shit's unhinged. If you were here doing this shit on October 8th, you're fucking anti-Semitic. Like this with all the fucking performative shit. The fucking whitest girls. She looks brown, but she white. She white on the inside where it counts. What do they call it? Like a final solution?
To kill them.
Is that guy here? Wait, I think it might have been this guy. It's all so fucking performative. Like it's like they're at a fucking a rave or something like that. Same energy, same level of seriousness.
There was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters.
Like, remember, that's just like the fucking kids that were at a music festival, but because it was close to Gaza, these people think they deserve to be fucking kidnapped and raped and murdered and tortured. So, yeah, these are the people that this fucking person is defending. And again, this was on fucking October 8th, one day after fucking 1,200 people were murdered. And these people were like defending the murderers. That's what that's what they're doing. They're not they're just defending the murderers, the terrorists. And she's supporting them. Dude, I know, right? Like it's so dumb. The
And
Jew
taking
signing
of
this
over
fucking
200
fake ass like differentiation. It's just say it. Just say the K word. Get it over with. Let me know who you are.
hostages, you would have come and rallied behind Hamas.
I think that October 7th was largely inevitable. If you put people in an open air concentration camp and you deprive them of rights, of dignity, of food, of the ability to live in safety, you have to expect that they are going to not take that for that long. And that is not defending.
You have to expect they're savages. There's no way they're going to react in any other way other than violence. Like what more can you expect from these people? They're fucking animals.
Any harm of civilians or of non-combatants.
Like.
Well, sure
that
it
is. Do you think it is?
You're saying you're supporting it.
I'm saying that I think it was inevitable. I think that you cannot put people in a cage and expect them not to revolt. And I think that
Yep, that's the thing. Like I would expect to hear this from like a fucking Nazi 4chan user in 2016.
supporting the civilians, the non-combatants, the children who are being killed, that's really the primary thing.
So you live in upstate New York. You describe yourself as a Jon Stewart liberal. Tell me about your life until 2018. What were you doing? What was your mindset, and why did it change?
Absolutely true. Got most of my news from Jon Stewart. That was my primary news source. I'd read the Sunday Times.
Jon Stewart was so based back in the Today Show days. He was such a gangster.
And I'd read Jon Stewart, and I did read The New Yorker, and sometimes even for more than the cartoons.
I appreciate that. But what happened? What turned?
So after Hillary Clinton did not win, and I was supportive of Hillary Clinton. I was not a registered Democrat at that point. I was registered independent. And then she didn't win. And I was horrified. I was baffled. I tried to become involved in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s when it was like fucking The Daily Show and The Colbert Report back to back. It was prime Comedy Central. Man, good old days. Yeah, dude. Yep. What was it called again? What was Stewart's book called?
Ended up involved in was this like women's club where you'd like have speakers. Like you weren't actually making any decisions. You were hearing people talk about a book. And that was all really frustrating because I was like, who's doing anything? What are we pushing anything toward? And a friend who was a folk musician said, we are starting this DSA chapter. You should come to a meeting. And I was like, ugh. The socialists. And I was like, all right, well, I'll come to your meeting because we're friends, but I'm not saying comrade. And I went to the meeting and I was just so relieved they were actually doing something, just anything. They had plans to just do something. We're going to lobby for this bill. We're going to do this community service activity together. We're just going to do stuff. And I was like, great. And then organizing and actually thinking constantly about like what an actual change to the system. Eventually I read some theory and I didn't go to college, but most of the great socialist theorists were writing pamphlets to be distributed to factory workers.
I think
and look how good the system that came out of it is. Fucking, it never worked anywhere. No shit. No wonder. Yeah, these people were uneducated. They were fucking retards. Yes.
Might have disturbed some people who were watching that Fox clip. There was a certain kind of, breezy, I'm for that, and there was no detail at all. And when you come to an issue like prison abolition and just say, yep, I'm for that, or defund the police, sure, I'm for that, it was a little startling. Now, it might have been the form of the show, so let's flip the switch here and dig down a little. What do you mean by prison abolition? We've had on this show Michelle Alexander, who wrote The New Jim Crow, and plenty of people in the Democratic Party, even in the establishment, have rejected mass incarceration, and some things have been done to bring it down. What does prison abolition mean to you?
So again, let's start from first principles, right? What do we need? We need safety.
Let's not begin from first principles. Let's begin from what is to be done, to use a Leninist phrase.
No, I mean, I think you have to start from first principles, and that is the core of this. We need community safety. We need people to be safe. We need people to be able to live their lives without fear of being assaulted, without fear of being robbed, without fear of violence. What raspy communities do we know are the safest? It's not communities with cops on every corner. It's communities that have good schools, good jobs, good park systems, good recreation for their teenagers, things like that. Those are the safe communities.
What does defunding the police mean in your mind?
Every year, police budgets go up. Every year, there's a...
Okay. First of all, to be pedantic here, every year, everyone's budgets goes up. It's called inflation, bitch. I didn't mean to call her that.
Backlog of rape kits that don't get tested.
Should they be maintained?
I am not in favor of getting rid of police entirely tomorrow.
No, defunding the police means...
Tomorrow. What? Eventually? Again, yeah, if we had fucking magic wand world where we can like just sprinkle fairy dust everywhere and like... Again, these people are unserious people.
No funding. I think that's
I don't think so. I think
tell me
it
what
means. I think it means taking funding back and moving it elsewhere, right? So pulling some of that funding back.
To what
and moving
extent?
it elsewhere. To the extent to which we are fully funding social services, to which we are fully funding schools, lunch programs for kids, after school programs for kids.
I refuse to do that,
Communities
Jess.
should be clean
Yes
and
or
they
no?
should be safe. We should be funding putting trees up so
Yes or
people
no?
have more.
I don't think anybody's going to argue about any of that, trees or anything of the like, but
Woober, there absolutely are none. You know that. Come on.
they're concerned.
But they do. They do. Because there's always more money for the police budgets, and there is never money for how do we just literally make our communities safer, nicer, healthier.
Again, there's no fucking proposal about where the money would, like, set up some systems, prove it could work. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna fix my place of employment tomorrow. How are you gonna fix it? Everyone's gonna do better work. And everyone's productivity is gonna increase by 10%. And everyone's gonna be happier on the job. How are you gonna do that? Well, they're just gonna do better work and they're gonna be happier. Like, it's just it's just words. I'm gonna plant a bullet in my head if I have to listen to this woman anymore.
And that does come to
Megan,
the
why
question.
do
We
you
say
think-
we don't
why do
have
you
enough
think-
money.
Why do you think a number of politicians in your orbit who use the rhetoric of defund the police have kind of taken it back or muffled it or gotten rid of it entirely?
I think you see, different phrasings of the same idea. And, if we're just talking about branding, I think that's not really the exercise we need to be spending a bunch of time on. I think we need to be talking to people about.
Brandon, isn't public opinion one of the most important things that you should be working on? Isn't that like literally one of the top priorities? I'm sorry, what?
Who use the rhetoric of defund the police have kind of taken it back or muffled it or gotten rid of it entirely.
I think you see, different phrasings of the same idea. And, if we're just talking about branding, I think that's not really the exercise we need to be spending a bunch of time on. I think we need to be talking to people about
It shows why they're ineffective.
what makes your community safe. And that is how DSA functions. We have a million conversations on the door. We are out in the communities actually changing minds.
Changing minds, but not changing lives. You guys are all fucking talk. That's the problem.
Democrats really like a slogan. They like an ad. They like
Democrats like getting elected and passing policies like the ACA. Bitch, I have health care because of fucking Democratic policies. Got nothing because of you. Got fucking empty promises.
a mailer.
And Trump
You've
is
made
president.
an argument for abolishing the Senate. And we both live in a state that has a
Yeah, Jay, if you don't know, this is like the co-chair of the DSA, like the national chapter.
I don't know what multiple of a population of Wyoming, which also has 2 senators. We all understand that. The Electoral College, we understand why it was put in place in the first place and why it's outdated now. But I think we can also agree that the chances of amending the Constitution to that effect are about 0. Does taking that kind of theoretical position, however principled, distract from DSA?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, like let's talk about all the ways that like how it would be awesome if we could just eat whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, and it had 0 side effects or consequences. Let's talk about the world where we could all just like take as many drugs, hard drugs as we want, and it doesn't affect us negatively at all. Like that world would be awesome. Yeah, I'd get high every day. But like,
say policies that might really succeed or be
nah,
more
Ten
urgent.
Houses, this one's good.
I don't think so. I think taking principled positions tells people that you're principled.
Yeah, but it also tells people that you're fucking useless and all you're there to do is fucking backseat quarterback or like Monday morning quarterback. It's dumb.
And I think we see voters really responding to that. And we see people saying, oh, you're actually thinking about this.
We see populist brain rot taking over fucking simple people's brains who don't pay attention to politics. That's all we're seeing. We saw it happen with MAGA, and we're going to see it happen with the DSA. I guess it's like all I can hope is that we stomp it out quicker and more effectively than the Republicans did with MAGA. But some people, even on our side, think that's a waste of fucking time. So we'll see.
Systems. Even Thomas Jefferson, for all of his heinous problems. I think he was writing letters to James
Channel
Madison where he
checks?
talked about we need a new constitution every 19 years because he did some
From a Discord,
calculation in his
anybody
head
chat
that
who hasn't. I got banned off
that is when
Twitter.
a generation changes
So,
over. And he said people should not
that's
be
why you hear me talk.
haunted by these rules set for them by previous generations. So this is not actually, it's not a new concept to say like, hey, wait a second, why are we doing this thing this way?
Give me the dynamics within DSA. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Zoran Mamdani, too, have been criticized by people in DSA for moderating various positions. AOC took advice from Nancy Pelosi. Mamdani retained the New York City police commissioner from the previous administration.
Yep. So what I think often on the outside looks like infighting or mess, we just call it democracy. We think it's good. We're always happy to pick apart anything, ruthless critique of all that exists, to use a Marxist phrase.
You've quoted Marx now a few times in our conversation.
I did quote Thomas Jefferson, too.
Conversation.
I did quote Thomas Jefferson.
Fucking loser.
Not happily, not without ambivalence.
Well, I was ruthlessly critiquing him for all that exists.
See, like it's just they fucking say the quiet part out loud. Like Jesus, that's the problem.
Going to get far by quoting Marxist theory in this country, or do you think that kind of Cold War antipathy to Marx, to say the least, is gone?
I think that people see that capitalism is not working for them. And I think, when you talk to people on the doors...
Marx, that's a good way to put them. They're economic flat earthers, and I hate it. That's a very good way to put it.
They don't care if you're quoting Marx or Thomas Jefferson. They care about whether or not their building is safe, whether or not there are rats crawling around in their children's bedrooms.
Oh, of course. But...
And you can say, hey, guess what?
Yeah, well, those rats are going to continue to... nothing that you're actually suggesting to do or proposing will actually help get the rats out of that person's place and put that person in a better place. It's just like you're going to these people and what you're doing is you're like relating to them and letting them know, yes, we see the rats. We see that shit's not good for you. Would you like things to be better? And those people would be like, yeah. And you're like, great, so do we. And that's it. That's where the conversation ends because there's no actual fucking like proposed path to get there. It's all fucking rainbows, lollipops, and puppies. And we see how it happened in history. Do I think that if it somehow got implemented in the United States, it's going to turn out exactly like it did in China or the Soviet Union? No, it's going to be the American version of it. It'll be red, white, and blue. It's going to suck too, though. That's probably going to be the same, but.
There's this thing in Vienna called the Karl Marx Hof, and it's a house, and it's named after Karl Marx, and it is dignified, clean, high quality social housing, and that is a real thing that exists. I think people aren't afraid of.
Is there a model for a politics or a society that is real and existing in this world that you would like to see the United States?
This guy asks so many good questions. Who is this guy? David Remnick. This guy's fucking awesome. From Hackensack. Oh boy. Oh, he wrote that Lenin's Tomb book. Look at that. The Last Days of the Soviet Empire. Might have to read that book, huh? This guy fucking writes as well as he interviews. It's gonna be a good fucking book. No.
Copy or somehow be close to.
Sorry.
High quality social housing, and that is a real thing that exists. I think people aren't afraid of.
Is there a model for a politics or a society that is real and existing in this world that you would like to see the United States copy or somehow be close to?
I wish that more socialist experiments could be happening without CIA interference, without U.S.
Bro. if your system is incapable of getting off the ground because of because of like 2 CIA agents on the ground paying some people to protest, like, fuck you, your system isn't strong enough to survive. Like, I'm sorry. If you think you won't be able to survive fucking CIA covert operations, you think you're going to be able to survive like overt operations from other countries? Fuck you. Your system fucking dog shit.
Close to.
I wish that more socialist experiments could be happening without CIA interference, without U.S. Sanctions messing with it, But I wish that we weren't doing, spending billions of dollars to destabilize Cuba. I think there are lessons we can take from different socialist projects. I think the Cuban Family Code is a really interesting one in participatory democracy, and the way that they changed their constitution to make it more egalitarian, to make it is now in the world the most queer friendly constitution that exists. I also think there are some serious problems, and I think that those problems are caused by the fact that we are spending billions of dollars to destabilize them.
Wait. What?
CIA interference, without U.S. sanctions messing with it, But I wish that we weren't doing, spending billions of dollars to destabilize Cuba. I think there are lessons we can take from different socialist projects. I think the Cuban Family Code is a really interesting one in participatory democracy, and the way that they changed their constitution to make it more egalitarian, to make it is now in the world the most queer friendly constitution that exists.
I mean, it doesn't sound awful here. LGBTQ rights in Cuba have significantly varied throughout modern history. Cuba is now considered progressive, with vast improvements in the 21st century for such rights. Following the 2022 Cuban Family Code referendum, so this is a very new thing. That's good. Reform's good. There is legal recognition to the right to marriage, unions between people of the same-sex adoption, and non-commercial surrogacy as part of one of the most progressive family codes in Latin America, as well as amongst communist countries. Until 1990s, LGBT communities was marginalized based on heteronormativity, gender roles, politics, blah, blah, blah. It was not until the 21st century that attitudes and acceptance towards LGBT. So it's like, it's almost like in the West, in our fucking dog capitalist society, we eased up on LGBT rights before these commie countries did. Seems like they're following us. Curious. Like, they just lie. If I had like more energy to fucking actually read through this, yeah, like whatever. Wait, I'm also curious what is like in their constitution specifically. Article 82, like it bans discrimination, like it's like our Title II, right? Like we have, like they're a protected class in the U.S. So I guess trans people aren't, but anymore, are they? But to like glaze them as hard as she did, it's just like so fucking gross. Like Cuba's not. It's okay. It's okay not to like Cuba. They're not the good guys. It's okay. Just because they're communists doesn't mean they're the good guys. It's like you think like my nephew who's 6, the same fucking thought process.
I also think, there are some serious problems, and I think that those problems are caused by the fact that we are spending billions of dollars to destabilize them, and they overcorrect.
Queer friendly is a good point. Earlier you expressed some support. I think I was reading you right for Hamas. I wouldn't call that a queer friendly organization, would you?
has a tough bullet to bite, but with she's bit a lot of tough bullets so far. So it wouldn't shock me if she bit this one too, but this is a tough one.
Some support. I think I was reading you right for Hamas. I wouldn't call that a queer-friendly organization, would you?
I would not call Hamas queer friendly. I would not say that you can get a lot of social rights when you're under siege. I think that most queer.
Oh, it's the Jews' fault. Got it. Of course, it's Israel's fault. Base. Let's go. I love it, dude. I wish I had something. I wish I had my own personal Jew that I could fucking like blame every single fucking bad thing that has ever happened in life on it. That would be awesome. Oh, one could dream.
People who have been killed in Palestine have been killed by Israeli bombs.
In the weeks preceding the invasion of Ukraine, DSA's International Committee released a statement blaming NATO expansion and the United States essentially for the crisis. After the invasion, DSA released a statement condemning the invasion and calling for a ceasefire.
Call for a ceasefire. Give unto all the Russian demands. Yes. Yes. Because imperialism only matters when it happens from the West. Yes. Yes. We don't care about imperialism or colonialism if it's our side doing it. Yes.
People who have in DSA who have been even more firm about that it was mainly the United States' fault that Russia felt compelled to invade Ukraine. How do you?
Russia is they're Mongoloids, dude. According to the DSA, like just think like them. They're fucking Neanderthals. You think they're capable of like acting on their own, of like coming up with their own decisions, irrational as they may be? No, it's the CIA. The CIA is the puppet master. Without the fucking puppet master pulling the strings, everybody else would just be slamming their dick in their drawers every morning. Like, would there be a lot of sore black and blue dicks in this world if it wasn't for the CIA guiding everybody in the right direction? It just so happens that's a fucking trans-Tifa direction. It's a shame. Thank God we got Trump in there, the deep state, to take them all out. How'd I get banned from Twitter for some fucking bullshit? For this tweet right here. This fucking tweet. At what point would it be justified to, and I put this in, this wasn't fucking Twitter that put this in, it was me, remove the TOS violations, Asmongold. I feel it's the only thing that will help them. Oh, you know what I actually typed in here before I deleted this? You want to know what I actually typed in here? I wrote, at what point would it be justified to kidnap someone and force them to be a sex slave for Asmongold? Nothing about violence, but apparently that's fucking violent speech. And I catch a perma for that because Asmongold's fans are fucking pussies and they're cowards and they'll mass report you because if you make fun of their special little guy, they get real angry. Oh. Fucking pussies.
Feel about it.
We do not believe in pouring U.S. money, military weapons into anything. We don't think it makes it better anywhere. But obviously Russia is this oligarchic dictatorship which is hyper-capitalist, and Putin is this crazy.
But why? I didn't put anything bad in there. There was no violent speech in it. It's implied, but I didn't say shit. It's like if you bleep something out on the TV, how could you get in trouble for that?
Right-wing oligarch, of course he is going to make horrific human life-ending decisions.
Well, this is precisely why those countries wanted to be in NATO.
Because I'm sorry, I'm an adult. Like I can see that and know what it is. The fucking like commentary on like what you can and can't say. It's so fucking stupid.
To make horrific human life-ending decisions.
Well, this is precisely why those countries wanted to be in NATO.
True. Yeah, you laugh because, like, oh, that's kind of a good point, isn't it? Like, it's pretty funny how all these countries that used to be like under the Soviet umbrella, like, are desperately like doing whatever that is in their fucking power to join NATO to get protection from Russia. Like, Jesus Christ, like, And these fucking dipshits will sit here and be like, well, I think it's all because of the fucking the CIA and the NSA, and if it wasn't for them, then nothing bad would be happening over there, and they would just be playing ice hockey. Where's my volume? Yeah, this interview is based. I gotta find more of his shit.
Ending decisions.
Well, isn't this precisely why those countries wanted to be in NATO?
Yes, but why aren't we doing any amount of actual diplomacy? Why aren't we?
Are we not? Diplomacy with whom? You know, there's two parties have to come to the table for there to be diplomacy, right? Like, speaking about Russia, Ukraine, you know, Ukraine has been willing to go to the table the entire time, as long as a table was a realistic table and a good faith table. Like, either she doesn't know, which is pathetic, to not know the details of the largest land war in Europe since World War II, and if she does and she's lying, well, then she's fucking gross and disgusting, and she should just be a cashier somewhere. Just go live in the mountains by herself.
Doing any amount of sending actual human beings to talk to human beings and figure.
They've tried several times. They've met with the Russians. Even Trump's retarded ass has met with the Russians. I mean, it sucks that anytime Trump goes, he just gets butt fucked by Putin because he's smarter than him, but
out what.
Get me out of here.
I don't understand what kind of there's been all kinds of diplomacy, however.
Thank you. Oh my God, this guy is so based.
Failed since the beginning of the invasion. We shouldn't send weapons to the Ukrainians.
No.
Wow. Okay. This person's actually evil. So like, this person's actually like a Marxist-Leninist. But we should remember, guys, we should spend zero time and effort fighting these guys. And we should allow them into our tent, into our trench. These guys are on our side. They're good allies in the fight for America's political future. Remember that. Remember that.
Why aren't we doing any amount of sending actual human beings to talk to human beings and figure out what.
I don't understand what kind of there's been all kinds of diplomacy, however, failed since the beginning of the invasion. We shouldn't send weapons to the Ukrainians.
No.
So just allow Russia to overrun Ukraine entirely.
Yep. They're not brave enough to admit it, but yes, that's what they would like to see happen. Yes. Yes. They want to see Russia back to its former glory. They want to see the Soviet Union take over all of the old Warsaw Pact countries. Yes. That is what they want. And they're starting to get brave enough to talk about it more and more openly. They're not willing to say that yet, but they're willing to say they'd let Ukraine just get thrown to the wolves. So how many House seats they need to win until they're confident enough to say that? I'd rather not find out.
We should be sending huge teams of diplomats. We should be figuring out how.
The fuck, you need the other side to be willing to negotiate in good faith for the diplomats to be of any use. And we have done that. It's just that when the fucking U.S. and the West go to the table on the side with Ukraine, Russia basically comes out and throws shit on the table by saying, like, oh, we demand all the regions that we said we now controlled, including land that they haven't even taken yet from Ukraine. Like, they want to go further than the front line. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, and Ukraine would need to like basically dismantle their entire army forever. Like, Russia's requests for, or like their proposal to end the war is like a full, complete surrender and capitulation by Ukraine. Like, short of Russia absorbing the entire Ukrainian state, it's as close to a complete defeat as could be. And like, so that is where Russia's starting from, and they haven't moved, and they said they wouldn't move. Like, that's their best. And this fucking clown wants to sit just like, it's like, why aren't you going over there and talking with them and having some tea and some soup? Why aren't you like, I don't know, doing fucking Russian shit over there and dancing and being Slavs? Like, extremists on the left and the right are obviously fucking retarded. They're dumb, but people get sucked into it. People enjoy it. I don't get it. It's fucking. Two more minutes.
How to negotiate, how to get Russia off Ukraine's back. We should, yeah, absolutely.
So Russia would get off of Ukraine's back by us sending diplomats.
I don't think that there is.
I like how this guy has a good like method of just like kind of just saying, like repeating back the retarded shit he just heard and be like, so this is what you're saying? Like you're unironically saying this, proceeds to say the dumbest shit imaginable. Like it's a good strat. Like make them eat the shit.
Adequate negotiation. I don't think that there has been anywhere near adequate diplomacy.
And you, I would donate like $1,000 to this guy to whatever he wanted if he was to ask, oh, can you give me an example of a negotiation that didn't go far enough? And could you give me like kind of your base, like if you were in charge, what you would have done differently? And like make them actually answer, like make her getting to specifics. Because apparently she knows the details of all previous negotiations and attempted negotiations that have happened since the start of the invasion, because she doesn't think that it's been good enough. So, it'd be nice if only somebody, if only there needs to be some kind of show or something like that forces people to go this deep. To like imagine like a show where you bring somebody in and they'll have like 5 clips, and if it was this woman, like this clip would be prepared, and like they would show this clip, and then at this new show they would ask like, okay, give me some details, let me know, and they won't know what clips are being brought up, so like they won't be able to research it. And just to prove how when these guys are fucking talking, they're just filling the air, they're not actually giving any useful information, they're not like teaching you anything that you can take with you and better your life or better your understanding of the world. They're populist brain rot. They're just they speak fucking digital heroin into your ears to make you feel good, when in fact it's poisoning you. Fucking DSA. I fucking hate the DSA. Holy fuck. I hate communists. Oh my God. I hate communists. I hate socialists. I hate fascists. I hate authoritarian. Oh my God. I hate them all. Can everyone just be fucking normal? That's so hard.
Okay. Who would be diplomats?
I don't think that there is adequate negotiation. I don't think that there has been anywhere near adequate diplomacy.
Okay. Who would be your ideal candidate for president in 2028?
Oh, God.
That is defeat in that man's voice.
Anywhere near adequate diplomacy.
That is defeat.
Okay. Who would be your ideal candidate for president in 2028?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Surely there's been discussion about this at DSA. And what is that discussion like?
So our convention, again, our highest decision-making body, last year passed something that we want to create a labor-left coalition to run a labor-left candidate for president. There are some labor leaders whose names get tossed around.
Yeah.
You know, nobody will be surprised by Sean Fain, of course, gets mentioned. Sarah Nelson, quite popular among DSA members. And then also, you know, there are folks from Congress. Obviously, AOC is the it's the big question. Is she going to run? We're also seeing progressive candidates who are not socialists, but folks like Ro Khanna seem to be running. You know, kind of laying the platform, laying the groundwork for a run.
Is Ro Khanna not too wealthy for you?
I think there are people in DSA who would potentially endorse a progressive who is not a socialist, and that's, you know, that's part of our internal democracy, and we would hash it out and come to a conclusion, and that would be democratically decided, and then we'd be like, all right, let's do this. If the organization decided to endorse Ro Khanna, I would knock doors for Ro Khanna, absolutely.
Megan, what do you want to get across that I haven't asked you about? I want to be fair here.
There are always questions about these pieces of detail, but the answer is always, we decide it democratically. We decide it together. So if you're looking to me to be the one true arbiter of DSA thought, I'm absolutely not. Who
is or that doesn't exist?
DSA.
And never will.
It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a convention, I guess, would be the closest to the one true arbiter of DSA, and it happens every 2 years.
Megan Romer, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Megan, let's start with first principles.
That was something, guys. That was something. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a night. What a day. Banned from Twitter. That sucks. Hopefully, I submitted an appeal again. Hopefully, I'll go back. We'll see. I have a feeling that my paranoid thinking right now is that whoever fucking banned me, whoever's working at Twitter, if a human being actually reviewed this and they denied my request, I worry that whoever's fucking still working at fucking Twitter at this point, the odds of them being a fucking Asmongold fan are really, really high. If that's the case, then I'm probably fucked. But I don't know. Hopefully, I get one of the Indians that still works there who don't like Asmongold when he talks about immigration. So, yeah, I'm gonna hop off for the rest of the night. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. It would be either in the morning or in the evening. It won't be in the afternoon. Got something planned. I'll have to be doing this more and more because I can't do anything on Twitter, which sucks because that was actually my biggest reach, my biggest platform. So I guess I'll have to somehow figure out how to get this to be my biggest platform. Instead of 3,000 people following, I got 15 right now, which is fine. Thank you guys, everyone who's here. I fucking love all you guys. I got to work on bumping those numbers up, and we will. And the only way to do that is to actually stream more. So you'll be seeing more of me if I can keep my my mood up in order to do it. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow. I want to watch Corm's video, his magnum opus, apparently, on Hassan tomorrow. 1 hour and 50-minute apparent masterpiece. So we're gonna watch that. There'll be other memes. You guys have a great night. I love you all. Thank you. Be safe. Thanks all again, guys. Peace.